Welcome to Finances with Felton. My name is Jeremy, and today I wanted to talk about retirement. Most people don't talk about retirement until they get closer to those retirement years, but I think everybody would agree that retirement is extremely important. So, we will go over when you should start saving for your retirement, how much you might need, and what are some of the things that you should consider when you're going into your retirement. So, let's get into it. Retirement is a goal in life, not just to retire, but to enjoy your retirement. So, how much money will you need in your retirement? Most people go by the 4% rule. So, I'll be using that going forward. So, it is said that you need about 70 to 80% of your income that you are making at that time of retirement. For example, if I am making $50,000 a year, I want to bring home somewhere between $35,000 to $40,000 a year after I'm in retirement. And the only way I can do that is in my retirement plan, I need $875,000 to $1 million. So you have to have that type of budget in your retirement to be able to pull 4% out and live off that 70 to 80%. The reason you want to use the 4% is so that you will never run out of money in the rest of your life. If you're pulling out only 4%, you should never run out of money if you have that in an investment tool. So if you have in some type of retirement for yourself. That way, the rest of your life, you have money. That way, hopefully, you're enjoying your retirement. Now, let's adjust that and say, I make $100,000 a year. Everything works the same. I still want to be able to pull out 4%, and that will give me the 70 to 80% of what I was making, right? So I'm either going to have $70,000 or $80,000 I'm pulling when I pull that 4%. So that will have me increase my budget. It's going to have to be in retirement, in my fund for retirement. It's going to have to be 1.75 million to 2 million in my retirement portfolio. That way, if I pull that 4%, that's what I'm living on. And I can maintain that for the rest of my life. It just depends on if you want to enjoy your life or not. You're going to have to make the sacrifices now so that you can have a good retirement. And that's not easy. Now, there are some caveats to that. So we'll go there next. So, some of the caveats would be, are you getting a pension? Does the business that you are in allow you to have a pension? If it does, I would highly recommend you taking full advantage of that. There are a lot of times when they will match what you put in to a certain percentage, and also you should be maxing out to the highest amount that you can afford. Again, retirement is personal, so you just do what you can afford. But sometimes you might have to sacrifice a little bit now to have more in the future. You could possibly be getting Social Security. If you are getting Social Security, it's just another thing that you can add into the equation. A lot of people talk about us not having Social Security when we retire, but only time will tell. They have talked about it for a long time about not having Social Security. I don't know. That is a great question. For the people who are optimistic, maybe you want to add that in. If you're not so optimistic, don't add it in. Figure out another way to get that money. It just means you might have to put more in now and sacrifice now to have better later. Something to consider. But if you do that and you have Social Security in the end, well, now you got a bonus. So, with the amount being in the millions of dollars that you will need possibly to retire and be comfortable, I want you to consider something. So, this is what I want you to consider: the average retirement savings balance by age. As you can see, this is a 2002 survey, and the median retirement savings for all families is $87,000. The average retirement savings by age is down below. So under 35 is just under $50,000. 35 to 44, 141,000. So we'll say 142,000. 45 to 54, we'll say 313,000. 55 to 64, 538,000. 65 to 74, 609,000. So these are all just the averages, right? So how does it make any sense that you're pulling 4% out of this if you are making X, Y, and Z money? So think about that. If this is what your savings balance is for your retirement, that's going to cause some issues, because remember, even with just making $50,000 a year, we said you'd still need $875,000 to $1 million. And not even the 65 to 74 population has that. So I really want you to consider these numbers that are right here. And yes, this is 2022. Maybe it's gone up. Maybe it's gone down. I'm not sure. When I find out the next one, I'll try to update this. But as of right now, when we are looking at this, I really want you to consider of what you're doing. What are you spending your money on? It's why I've put a lot of these videos out here, is because I want everybody to enjoy their retirement and just know that you don't have to sacrifice everything to get to your retirement. But it is extremely important. So please, please, please consider what most people on average are saving, because this is the average. That means some are doing well and they're above that, but some are a lot below that also. So, when do you start saving for your retirement? You should have already been started. You want to start as soon as possible. I don't want you to think of retirement when you turn 50. I want you to think of retirement when you start in your career field. Because from the moment you start your job, you should be saving for retirement. And I know that's hard, and I understand it. And a lot of kids today in their teens, as in 18, 19, 20, and you're working those jobs, do not think about that. Parents, if you are a business owner, you can have your kid working for you. So you can put the money that they make into an IRA, a Roth IRA for them, up to the amount that they would have made. So if you have your 6-year-old son or daughter working for you, start an IRA for them and start funneling money into there with whatever they would have made for that year. You can set your child up to be a multimillionaire in the future if you so choose. And you'd be paying somebody else, and they can pick up nails if they're in some type of construction, or they can help you with paperwork. They can do whatever you need them to do to help in your business. So it's just something to consider when you are doing whatever business you are doing. If you want to help your children get a little step up before they've even understood what you're talking about. So something to keep in mind. Start saving early. Help your kids start saving early. And you can ingrain in them, hopefully, some of the things that you learn throughout your own life, and hopefully that I can share with you, so that in the end, they are set up right now and in the future for greatness. As we've heard before, and if you haven't, if you do not plan, you are planning for failure. Okay, so what can you do to help you get to your retirement also? So, like I talked about a little bit before, do all the stuff that you can with matching, whether it's a 401k that you have or a TSP. If you do not have that in your job, you can start your own. You can look into IRAs, but start something to help you start saving for your retirement. So if you've if you have some type of 401k or TSP, whether you work in government or just a civilian job, once you've maximized that, then you want to start looking into Roth IRA. Because with the Roth, you can invest in other things, not necessarily just, let's say, not just stocks and bonds, but real estate and things that are outside the box, we'll say. That'll be for some other time down the road. We want to just get you started here. But you want to start looking into a Roth IRA. Again, that's when you have maximized all your 401k, TSP, that type of stuff. Then you start looking into a Roth IRA. Then that just gives you another outlet for the money that you can save, and that will help you again get to that retirement goal, whatever you set for yourself. Roth IRAs will give you the benefit down the road. Anything that you take out of it at the end, you won't be taxed on either. That's what a Roth does for you. Stocks, bonds, any of that stuff is going to help you afterwards. So if you're maxing out all that stuff, you could start investing in bonds, stocks, anything to put your money in a place that will make your money make money for you. Real estate is a great outlet, which brings in profits and lets you use it for tax purposes. Okay, I know that was a lot, and it's not always easy to think of retirement when you are younger. But please, if you get anything out of this, if you share it with your friends, if you share it with your kids, have them start saving early. The American dream of retirement, after you get the 2 cars and the house and everything else, it's becoming a myth. It is that sense of security that you think you have when you don't. You want things in your life to be assets, not liabilities. And the same will go as you're thinking about stuff for your retirement. So yeah, you can buy that house. It looks like an asset, but is it? If you're paying monthly on it, is it an asset or is it a liability? Is it bringing money in or is it taking money out? So just think about that in this retirement journey that you have. I just want to make sure that you understand that retirement is a personal thing. It is up to you and what you are comfortable with, just like any type of investment or anything else. But you also have to get going. If you haven't started yet, you need to. You should have started yesterday. If you are 19, 20, yeah, you want to go out and you want to get that new car and you want to do all that stuff. None of that matters. It might matter to you now because you think it does. But in the end, do you want to be comfortable or do you just want to have a nice car? Only you can make that choice. But it's just something to think about and put into your mind. All right. There's just one last thing I have to do because I wanted to let everybody know that I love singing in the shower. And maybe some of you guys do too. But just remember, if you get soap in your mouth, it does become a soap opera.